Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 hilarious moments of cartoon logic. I'm sure we all loved cartoons as kids, and maybe even now too. But as we were kids, we likely didn't notice all the funny and bizarre things that just don't make sense in them. Of course, these are fictional cartoons, but it's still funny to check out these moments of dumb cartoon logic. Before we get into it, be sure to go over and subscribe to my new channel, The Crafty. There's amazing DIYs and crafts I'm sure you'll love. And if you go over to it and comment on any video saying you subscribed, I'll shout you out at the end of our next Top 10s video. And to anyone who's already done that, your shout out will be at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Coming in at number 10 is Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry is a classic cartoon which is still popular with some today. It features Tom the cat chasing around Jerry the mouse. As they're animals, they of course don't wear any clothes and never seem to mind. But in one episode when they go to the beach, they actually do wear clothes. Jerry has swim trunks and Tom has an old school swimsuit. Despite them being naked all day, they felt the need to wear clothes to the beach, where people don't usually wear many clothes. Maybe they just like running around the house naked all day but put on clothes when they go out. Hey, some people do that, or at least that's what I've been told. Or perhaps they just need some UV protection. You wouldn't believe how quickly mouse balls burn in the sun. And this isn't the first time that Jerry's been embarrassed about being nude in public. In one episode, Tom sees him showering and Jerry freaks out. Maybe you can see a little more when his fur's wet. Another dumb bit of cartoon logic in Tom and Jerry is that gravity only seems to work when you look down. But to be fair, that is one of the funniest parts of the cartoon. Next up is Cinderella. Cinderella is a Disney classic and one of the most popular animated movies ever. But there are a few instances of dumb cartoon logic in the movie. The first is that if Cinderella is Prince Charming's love of his life, why doesn't he remember what she looks like? I know they say love is blind, but come on. I don't know how much they were drinking at that ball, but this leads me to believe that it was a lot. Did he really have to test out the shoe on everyone in the entire kingdom? Also, isn't it odd that nobody else in the kingdom had the same shoe size as Cinderella? You'd think someone would have similar sized feet, right? And finally, if her slipper was a perfect fit, why did it ever fall off? I guess Cinderella must have had really sweaty feet. Prince Charming, you can do better than that. What about a nice young lady like Sarah Palin or something? Next up is Family Guy. Family Guy is one funny show and is one of America's favorite TV families. And one of the most beloved family members is Brian the dog. But there are a few moments of bizarre logic he creates, and no, I'm not talking about him being a talking dog, I'm gonna let that go. The first moment of cartoon logic here is that Brian doesn't believe in Jesus and often talks about his atheism. However, he's met Jesus many times. It's not uncommon for people to not believe in Jesus nowadays, but you'd think when they've actually met him, they'd come round to the idea. And the second moment of cartoon logic is also related to Brian. He's often seen driving and it's known that he shows off his Prius. But how do his feet even touch the pedals? Unless he uses the old trucker brick method, I have no idea. Perhaps he's made a special appearance on Pimp My Prius and they've modified it for him. One thing's for sure, Brian has a lot of moments of bizarre but hilarious cartoon logic. Next up is SpongeBob. Of course, SpongeBob being a sponge living under the sea doesn't make sense, but we're going to let that one go. There have, however, been some funny and odd moments of cartoon logic in SpongeBob. The first is, how is SpongeBob blowing bubbles in this photo? Before you try and catch me out, I know he's in Sandy's dome, which isn't underwater, but he is wearing a water helmet, which means he wouldn't be able to blow through it. One thing's for sure, this definitely makes zero sense. Perhaps Sandy's science is just too complicated for us mere humans to understand. But another thing is, where are SpongeBob's sleeves coming from? They simply don't fit to his suit in any way thanks to his weird spongy arms. I don't know, perhaps they're magnetic. And finally, can we talk about Mr. Krabs and his daughter Pearl? Can we all just agree that Mr. Krabs' wife must have cheated on him? I mean, come on, there's no way a crab can make a whale. Now I know why that mailman's always hanging around. Next up is The Simpsons. The Simpsons is one of the longest running TV shows of all time, and they are likely America's favorite TV family. Sorry Family Guy, there are many odd things in The Simpsons, but something that raises a lot of eyebrows is Bart and Lisa's hair. It's very spiky and odd, and even seems to stay in shape when they go in water, but perhaps their hair isn't actually hair. In one episode when they get blown up, you can see their hair is part of their skeletons. So do these characters have hair or not? Maybe this is something we'll never know. Another bizarre thing in The Simpsons is that Apu's children grow normally, but Maggie is still 1 year old despite the show running for 28 years. Okay, she's 336 months old. Sorry Marge. But seriously, does Maggie have some kind of growth problem? She really needs to grow up a little. And lastly, in The Simpsons, why is it that so many couples look like brother and sister? I know it's a good way to show they're a couple, but if you saw something like this in real life, you'd think something was up. Coming up next is Arthur. If this cartoon doesn't give you some serious nostalgia, you must have been born after the 90s. But if you're a 90s baby, this has to be one of your favorite shows. Despite how good it was, there were some odd moments in the show. Try and explain this to me. Why are the headphones on Arthur's face and not his ears? The combination of the headphones being there and his smug face really confuses me. And that brings me on to my next point. How do Arthur's glasses stay on without any support from his ears or nose? It must be weird when your ears purely exist for decoration like poor Arthur here. Those glasses either must be very, very tight or carved into his face. Either way, you gotta feel sorry for the poor... what exactly is Arthur again? Is he a human or an animal? What is this guy? Next up is the Flintstones. The Flintstones is a cartoon about a bunch of cavemen. It's a good cartoon, but their Christmas episode was wrong on so many levels. First off, cavemen were before the birth of Christ, so there would have been nothing to celebrate back then. And Coca-Cola introduced the red Santa outfit the characters are wearing. And something tells me Coca-Cola wasn't around during caveman times. Although this is one of my favorite cartoons of all time, I just can't see any logic here. Also, it seems they have a Christmas tree too, which is a Celtic tradition. This seems like one very odd episode. I can just imagine a history professor freaking out right now. Of course, the Flintstones isn't a documentary or anything, so you can't take it too seriously. But it's still funny to look at this piece of bizarre cartoon logic. Coming up next is Goofy and Pluto. Goofy and Pluto are undoubtedly one of the best Disney duos. The only thing is, why is Goofy the owner of Pluto the dog if Goofy is a dog himself? This doesn't make any sense, as surely they should be equals. And what's more, why is Goofy sometimes seen walking Pluto? I guess this shows no matter who you are, you still gotta do the chores. But the weirdness doesn't end there. In one episode, Mickey is walking Pluto. Now I don't know about you, but I don't see how a mouse could ever walk a dog. Is Mickey like a mutant giant mouse or something? I guess this is just another bizarre moment of cartoon logic. Next up is the Powerpuff Girls. This cartoon is old school, and I used to love watching it when I was a kid, but it seems to have so many moments of dumb cartoon logic. Take this moment when Bubbles is eating sushi. Yeah, I really don't see how she's holding that chopstick. I mean, she can fly, so let's just call this one of her many powers. The narrator of the cartoon often says she has a magnetic personality, but something tells me she has magnetic hands too. Another moment of cartoon logic is why do they always tiptoe past their dad's room when they could just fly? It's such a reoccurring thing in many episodes, but it's really pretty pointless. Now all I can see is this photo is a dance move. I just can't get it out of my head. Whatever their reason for tiptoeing around so much, it's definitely a piece of cartoon non-logic. Coming up next is Donald Duck. Donald Duck is a classic Disney character. He's a hilarious character who's known for speaking in an odd way. But another thing he should probably be known for is his lack of logic in many scenarios featuring this character. The first is that Donald does wear clothes, but it's just a shirt and his underside is always on show, right? Well then why is he embarrassed when he's shirtless in one episode and covers up his lower parts? I mean, you'd think he'd be used to being naked already. Another thing is that Donald Duck is a duck, clues in the name. But in one episode, him and his kids are eating a chicken. Doesn't that seem kind of odd? I guess it's not as odd as eating duck. Yep, it seems Donald goes through a lot of moments of cartoon logic. Of course, all of these cartoons are not to be taken too seriously, but you can't deny it's funny to check out these hilarious moments of cartoon logic. Feel free to comment any more funny cartoon logic moments, and hey, maybe I'll make a part 2. Check out the poll in the top right corner and you can vote for the funniest moment of cartoon logic. I think it's SpongeBob, because there's so much dumb logic in that show. And guys, as I promised last video, all the people who commented on the first Crafty video saying they subscribed to the Crafty is getting a shout out right now. So I'm gonna go down the list of names. You can see your name on screen. I'm gonna read a few out. We've got Alex Brady, Jordan number 1, let me see, Ty Ingle, all of you guys, thanks very much. I'm Dam, the Roblox Kid, Hey Guys, Lucas Gaming, Royals, Anonymous Person, Mechamoon. I'm going to read out a few names, guys. I can't read them all out, but I will keep doing this, so I'm going to keep doing this, guys. I can't read them all out in one video, but if you guys all comment on the Crafty video saying you subscribed, and I will get around to shouting you out in the next Top 10s video. So let me see, Sebastian, Supreme Gaming, Hampus, Mary Lincoln, tons of guys here, Jose Martinez, Diego, Yusuf, Chris Lane, Zigzag, Ethan John, Jake Waves, Daniel Anderson, Millionaire Boy, Kaylee Grace, Jerry Hall, Shemaine Chevron. We have that one guy, XX Slayer, The Box Games, Royce Palmer, Pierce Broyce, let me see, Everyday Ninja, John Newman. Leave a comment saying you subscribed and it will be worth your time, guys, because you may get a shout out, and well, you will. Everyone who comments, I'm going to go through all the comments and shout everyone out. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.